Let's go to Iceland!
In the night, you wake me up when the sun goes down. Feelings right, you wake me up when the sun goes down. Sleepless nights, you wake me up when the sun goes down. I can't help it, baby, not myself when the sun goes down. I can't, baby, I down. I can't, baby, I down. I can't, baby, I down. I can't, baby, Sleepless nights, you wake me up when the sun goes down. I can't help it, baby, not myself when the sun goes down.
Hey up photo pips, welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome. I just want to go over the Iceland trip. This is going to be part one of probably 3 or 4 different parts, and we're going to start off where we sort of flew from Luton Airport. It was a nice early morning flight and we got there with plenty of time. So the first thing I wanted to do was once we landed, I'd planned a route from the airport which took us south along the Iceland coastline, and the first stop was the beautiful and amazing Seljalandsfoss, which I did last time, but if you've seen any of the past videos, it was pitch black. So for us this time it was absolutely brilliant to be able to get round the back there and do a little bit of photography and a little bit of videography. Now the photography didn't go too well, but that's just solely because I guess it's a combination of the fact that I'm so excited. There's so many tourists and people there. Obviously I'm a tourist as well. But that is, it's just how Iceland's going now, so accept that when you go. You know, we're all one happy bunch of people enjoying the beautiful landscapes of Iceland, and that is just something you have to accept. Now the next stage was literally the little waterfall just further up that's set in a crevice, actually embedded in the embankment. And this, for me, was absolutely stunning. I just had to go in. I didn't care if I was going to get soaking wet, even though I'd literally only driven an hour or so to this first stop, and I knew I'd still got at least 7.5 to 8 hours worth of driving to do. I was prepared to drive wet, literally soaking. I weren't bothered. Now people was in trainers trying to get out, trying to get by. soaked through to the skin. I don't know if they'd fell over or they'd jumped in there just to have a wash. I'm not sure, but man, you know, and the way you have to tackle these things is with confidence. Don't stop, just set your route, look where you want to go and go. Because if you start thinking about it, that's when trouble becomes, and you're going to start sliding off rocks and all sorts of weird stuff. And I stood there, I was literally helping people out just so I could get in. I was using my arm as a rail. I said, just hold on and make your way by, because I just needed to get these people out of the way so I could get in. If you're feeling vulnerable and you think you can't do things like this, don't do it. Just, why do people do it? I don't know. But for me, that was absolutely stunning to be in there. I can imagine maybe going back and being in there alone at night, but in the summer, so that it's still light, you know, it's still safe to go in there. I think for me, that would be special. It just has an aura. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it. The drive-in. Now, we picked the little Fiesta up, and believe me, that car got battered. You need, I don't care what anyone says, if you're going to do a round the ring road tour of Iceland, you need a four-wheel drive, because the gravel roads that you go on, you think we've got bad roads here in the UK. You've seen nothing. You have seen nothing. You know, I don't want to say too much about the way the car was returned. I don't know, you know, I don't want to say too much about that. But I had to get a wheel fixed, put it that way. That's all I'm saying. The tyre and the wheel was totally smashed. They straightened the wheel to put the wheel back in the boot of the car, which we used for a spare. And this is the other thing about Iceland that you've got to understand: how expensive food is. Food and drink is unbelievable. I put my card in the machine to pay for my tyre, and it came up with 40,000 Icelandic krona, which was, then it converted it to Great British pound, and it was £35, which I thought, oh, that's reasonable. They've put an in tube in, they've straightened the wheel, they've made it all hunky-dory, they've put the toolkit back where it belongs, they've put the spare now back in the car, not got my hands dirty, I used their loo, everything. So then we'd got it done, and literally 100 yards down the road was an American diner. We nipped in there, and the breakfast that we had like an English breakfast, British breakfast, which consists of hash brown, baked beans, tomato, sausage, which you get like 6 of, all strung together. Very small, about that big. Chipolata-like size ones. What else did? Mushrooms, I think I said that. And just an average English breakfast. And that cost, for two, £40. So that is one of the downsides to Iceland. The other example, food versus other things, is I went into 66 Degrees North, which is a clothing shop out in Iceland. Pretty unique to Iceland and the Northern Hemisphere. I went in and bought 3 t-shirts and a beanie hat. You know I love my beanie hats. Then we went for breakfast, looking for breakfast, and this is no word of a lie. Mushroom omelette, just the mushroom omelette, cost more than them 3 t-shirts and that beanie hat. With that said, guys, you know what you've got to do. Stay tuned, smash the notification button and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, get out and shoot. You know you want to. See you soon. Cheers.